Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today we're going to do a little get ready with using all the products that I pulled in the Makeup Basket Monday series. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is prep my face by using the Faced Hangover RX. You guys know I'm just trying to use this up. I do like this primer, but it's not like I'm like trying to like say, hey, you need to get this primer because I'm using it every week. I'm just basically trying to use it up. I feel like I've had it for a while now, so kind of want to get out of my stash and start using some of my other stuff. But I don't want to waste it because it is a good primer. It's a very hydrating primer. If you guys have not watched my Get Ready With Me's, this is very hydrating and it smells like coconuts, like more like a pure coconut though, not like that fake artificial coconut. It smells like actual real coconut. But it feels really good. It's not overly hydrating though, so if you have very dry skin, you still want to use a moisturizer with it because I have very, very dry skin and I still like to use a moisturizer to make sure my skin is nice and ready. The next thing I'm going to do is put my foundation on. I'm going to use the Smashbox Camera Ready BB Cream. I'm just going to apply this with my fingers. I'm going to go old school because we're taking it back to the old school because I'm an old fool. So now I'm going to put this on my hand and then put it on my face. They say to start in the center of your face when you're doing foundation, but I don't think there's really any actual techniques for doing makeup. You do it however you want to do it. So I'm just going to use my fingers to apply this. I think BB creams apply better with fingers than they do with sponges and stuff, so I think it gives you a better coverage. Just make sure that your hands are clean. You don't want to be putting dirty fingers on your face. That goes with all your beauty tools though. Any beauty tool you're using, make sure it's nice and clean, because that unfortunately can cause acne breakouts. Okay. Pull my mirror a little bit closer so I can make sure that I'm putting my foundation on correctly. I'm sure I will look lovely if I don't get it all on right. So I'm just kind of patting this in different places. And then I'm going to rub it into my forehead. I've got a nice scar here going on. So hopefully we can kind of cover that up a little bit today too. This feels very tacky once you put it on. So what I typically do is just kind of pat to make sure that it's nice and into my skin. As weird as that sounds. I've been using a lot more foundations that are more light coverage because I just like the way that that works for the summer. I know it doesn't do a great job with covering my scars that I have on my face, but that's okay. We don't have to cover them all up. I'm not worried. Now I'm going to go ahead and start with my eyes, and I'm going to be priming my eyelids using the MAC Painterly Paint Pot because you guys know that is my favorite primer for my eyelids. You guys have probably seen this so much you're probably sick of seeing it. So there's the MAC Painterly Paint Pot. There's where I dug my finger in it the last time in the Get Ready With Me. So I'm just going to put that on my eyelids. So how has your week been? It's been a really good week for us here. I got a lot of yard work done over the weekend and some more during the week. And then now the weather is getting very, very nice. It's supposed to be like up in the 90s, which is crazy. We went from freezing temperatures to like a couple days later, we're in the 90s. I don't understand our weather. Well, let me know if your weather is just as crazy as mine, because my weather here is just, it's very unpredictable. Now I'm going to do my eyelids, and I'm going to use the Smashbox. This is the Cover Shot Golden Hour palette. So here's what it looks like on the inside. I'm liking this palette, but to be honest with you, I don't think I love it. I don't think it's like one of the best ones I've ever tried from Smashbox. I'm going to use this Wet n Wild little brush here. I don't know if it says what it is. I think it's just an eye brush. Like no, it's an eye brush. That made sense. I think it's just a like a flat brush or whatever. So I'm going to apply this shade right here, this top matte shade, all over my eye to kind of set that primer. Apply that. I'm putting it on pretty thick just because I do have a lot of discoloration going on in my eyes today. I haven't been getting as much sleep as I need to, but that's okay. Sleep is overrated, right? No, not really. Not really. So if you all want an update on Max, he is doing very, very good. He has dwindled down to where he's only having about maybe one accident a day in the house, which is not bad at all. And him and Molly get along wonderfully now. They are like best friends, which I kind of thought that was going to happen, but I think it just needed some time for them to develop that friendship. Now I'm going to go in with this brush here. This is a no-name brush. I'm going to go into the shade right here. These are the only two matte shades in this entire palette, these top two here. So I'm going to go in with that and try to build a transition. And then I'm going to blend that out using a different brush. Right now I'm just kind of applying the shadow. I don't want to use these shimmer shades in my crease, so that's the only thing I don't like about this palette, is that I don't feel like it comes with enough mattes. You only have 2 mattes in here and the rest are shimmers. And I'm not a huge shimmer fan. I like some shimmers, but I like to have more mattes than shimmers in my palettes. So that's one thing that I don't love about this palette so far. So I'm going to go in with another brush and blend this out really good. Now let's find that brush. It's that one that I always use, the Beauty Junkies one. That one, like, is my standby. Like, I use this brush all the time. I need to just purchase another one of these because that's my favorite one for blending out my eyeshadows. I feel like it does such a fantastic job. It blows it out very easily. So Max goes to the vet next week for some shots, so I'm not looking forward to that. I'm sure he's not looking forward to it either, but you gotta do it. I'm just, hopefully he doesn't get sick or anything from it. I always worry about that they'll get sick or something. Now I'm going to use a flat shader brush. This is the Rite Aid brand brush. I think it's the Rite Aid, yep, the Rite Aid brand little brush here from Rite Aid. So I'm going to actually put this shade right here on my center of my lid. It's like a pinky shade. Tap that off. And do you see, I mean, like with no other transitions, I don't feel like you can get a deep enough crease. I'm going to build it up anyway using a shimmer shade, but that's just not something I typically like to do. I don't like to use a shimmer shade for my crease and for like the outer V or anything like that. So we're just going to have to work with it though. Or maybe I'll go into my Smashbox palette and work with that. The blush palette. Maybe that's what we'll end up doing. I think that's what we're going to do because I'm just not loving that palette. I don't think it's the best palette I've ever tried, that's for sure. So I'm going to go in here and see if I can use this shade right here, the bronzer that they put in this palette, to see if that can help me deepen up my outer V. So I'm just going to put some on the brush. Tap off. It's not too much darker than what I already had, but it's a little bit. Anything's better than nothing. So there that goes. And I may end up still going into that other palette and trying to get something dark. Yeah, because that's just not dark enough still. I don't feel like it's dark enough. I'm going to pull you guys in a little bit closer. I feel like you guys are pretty far away. Pull you guys in so you can see a little bit better. Now I'm going to go back into this palette here. I'm going to use this purple shade. And we're going to try to use that as my crease, the outer V. Even though, like I say, I don't like a shimmer shade in my crease or my outer V, we're going to do it anyway. I just think it accentuates all of my wrinkles. Any shimmer shade really accentuates my age. It really shows my age. So there we go. Blow that out. Looking good. What do you guys think? May have to blow it out a little bit more using my favorite brush again. So I'll go back to the Beauty Junkies one. Wipe it off a little bit. This is more of like a washed out look. It's not really anything that's real standout. This color, this little eyeshadow look isn't really something that you're going to build and you're going to be very prominent. It's not a very prominent look, I guess is what you could say. It's just very, just kind of blends together. So, and that's fine. Sometimes that's an easy look to go with. So it depends on what you like. If you like a look that kind of just blends all together and it's very, these shadows are easy to work with. I just feel like they should have put more mattes in it. That's my only concern. So now I'm going to go back into the palette here and I'm going to go into the lightest shade. Hopefully you can see that, the lightest shade here. And I'm going to put that on the center, on the outer, or the center, the inner portion of my eye, just to brighten that up. And do the same thing on the other side. got makeup in my eye already. That's lovely. Okay, now I'm going to go back with the Beauty Junkies brush, and I'm going to use that purple again. I'm going to try to build that up a little bit more. Hopefully you can see that in the purple. What do you guys like shimmers in your crease? Not really shimmers. These are more like satins. They're not really shimmers. They're more like satin, I guess you could say, because there's no shimmer to it. It's definitely just not a matte shade. And I typically like a matte shade. So having my son home has been really nice, except for the fact that moving him home, I forgot how much stuff he took with him. It took us forever to get everything moved in. It was crazy. I was like, oh my gosh, you have a lot of stuff, dude. But you guys know, if you've ever gone away to college, you have to take so much stuff with you so you can kind of make yourself feel at home. And that's what we did for him when we sent him away to college. We wanted him to feel like it was home away from home, because I didn't want him to get homesick. It's bad enough when mom's at home and she's feeling sad because he's not here, but I didn't want him feeling bad because he was homesick. So he had a lot of stuff to unpack. But it's all done now. That's the good thing. Now I'm going to go in with a liner. I'm going to go in with the Covergirl. This is the one that's like a brow and liner. It's a powder liner. So we're going to try this out. To be honest with you, I haven't tried this week yet. I tried it in my brows, but I haven't tried it as a liner. So we're going to see if this is any good. I have a feeling we're going to have tons of fallout. So far not, though. Not too bad. It's a very nice light look. So if you don't like a heavy liner, that would be perfect for that, because it's not heavy at all. I need to grab a brow brush too, because I don't have a brow brush. I need to grab that. So there it is on my eyes. That doesn't look too shabby. I need to blend out the colors a little bit more. It looks like we need to do a little bit better blending. Let me grab a brow brush here. I'm just gonna grab a pencil. I'm just gonna grab Anastasia one, and I'll use the spoolie on that end, because I don't know where my brow brush is, and I'm not even gonna attempt to look for it, to be honest with you. So now I'm just gonna sweep some of this through my brows. This definitely you want to go in with a light hand, because you can definitely create very, very bold brows very quickly. So just use a very light hand with this. If you like light-handed brows, if you like a more bolder brow, then of course you could go bolder. I just typically like a light brow. So there it is. Definitely made a difference. And going on the other side. I don't know if you guys can hear things rattling around or not, but Max and Molly are playing with their toys. I have them in the kitchen. They're blocked off in the kitchen. I didn't want to put him in his kennel because he wants to play, so I figured let him play. I just hope that they don't chew up anything they shouldn't. I got the kitchen pretty much almost child-proofed, so it's like puppy-proofed. So I don't think he's going to get into too much, if anything. If anything, he'll probably just eat my shoes, which he's already eaten so many of my shoes already. He likes to eat shoes. Especially flip-flops. He loves flip-flops. Okay, so there's the bold brows. There's the brows. I was looking at my brows thinking how bold they are, and I said, there's the bold brows. Well, you know. So now I'm going to clean off my Beauty Junkies brush. I'm going to try to blow this out a little bit more, because I feel like it's... Let's go back in with this little palette here. I'm going to use that light bone shade right here, like a cream shade, and I'm going to see if that'll help blow this out a little bit more. Blow it out some. Yeah, that's helping. That's helping a lot. Okay, So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I started watching a new series on Netflix, which is a really horrible, I don't know if I told you guys about the series that I was watching or not, but it's it's pretty raunchy, so I'll tell you that to start with. It's called Shameless. It's a pretty raunchy show, to be honest with you, but it's hilarious. It's very, very, very funny. Now I'm going to go in just to give myself a little bit more pop of boldness here. I'm going to use a little bit of the Stila Magnificent Metals onto the center of my eye and bring it in just a little bit. And I'm going to use a flat shader brush to kind of thin that out a little bit. I don't want it super thick. I want it more thinned out. So now I'm going to use a flat shader brush and play with that a little bit. So we've got a flat shader brush here. And I'm just thinning it out some, just so it's not so bold of a sparkle. A little bit more muted down. You can move it around while it's still wet. Once it's dry, it's not going to move, except for you will have fallout on your cheeks. I need to purchase the Too Faced glitter glue to see if that would help maybe maintain the look once you've applied it, because right now I feel like I'm having issues with that, where it's just wanting to come down. Now I'm going to finish up using this is the L'Oreal Visible Lift Serum Absolute Corrector. I'm going to finish using this up this week. That is my goal, and I'm almost there, so why not finish it up? So we can throw it in my makeup empties. I'm going to use that to cover up some of these bigger spots too. I need to grab I'm going to use a dry beauty blender. Hey, have you guys ever tried using a dry beauty blender before? I kind of like the way it works with the dry one. I don't always like using a beauty blender wet. I don't think you have to technically always use them wet. Use them however you want to. I'm going to reach behind you guys and grab a beauty blender. Hopefully I didn't give you guys so close up. Oh man, I just dropped it. Let's grab another one. I just grabbed the cup. Got a little cup here full of them. So I'm going to grab another one. These are all clean. So I'm going to just start dabbing this in. I like using a dry beauty blender for concealer because I feel like it does a really good job, because it takes away any excess and it doesn't leave it cakey looking whatsoever. Whereas a wet one, I feel like you can still have a little bit too much concealer if you don't want that much concealer. If you want it more concealed, of course you don't want to do that. But since this is more of like a spring summer type of makeup look, I guess you could say, then for me, I don't want my makeup to be too strong. I want the more natural, not really natural, because this is definitely not natural. I just want the more, I don't know, not so full faced. So there it is. I'm gonna actually zoom you guys back out some. I was taking you in closer. Zoom you guys back out some. I think my light might be a little bit bright here. Nope, it's not coming down some, so I think we're not too bright. Not too bright. I'm not too bright. And I can't find my, not foundation, but my, there it is. Goodness gracious, I thought I couldn't find my mascara. This is like my holy grail mascara, you guys know. So I'm just gonna curl my lashes real quick. And do the other one. Anyway, I was talking about that show that I've been watching on Netflix. It is really, really funny. Like I said, though, it's raunchy, so it's just got some characters in it that do some crazy things. Especially the main character, one of the main characters, the dad. He is absolutely bananas. But there's some scenes in it. If you don't like raunchy type of videos, you may not like that show. But if you like that, where it's kind of like, it reminds me a lot of like the Married with Children, but a little bit more dramatic than that. Like the Married with Children series that they used to be out like in the 90s. If you're a 90s child, you remember that show. It's kind of raunchy like that, but a little bit more dramatic. Actually, a lot more dramatic, because it's definitely not PG. It's definitely has to be rated R, because it's got some nudity and profanity. But it's just hilarious. I would not watch it with my kids, though. No way. But if you need something to like just make you laugh, it will definitely make you laugh. I tried the method of slowing down with my mascara, you guys, and guess what? I don't like it. You guys, I know I suck at mascara, and I think we're just gonna have to I'm gonna have to deal with that. It's just not one of my strong suits. Maybe I need to try fake lashes. I've heard that that pulls your lashes out though, so I'm afraid to do it. I don't really want to go that whole route. I'd rather not use fake lashes. Maybe for a special event or something, but for every day I don't think that's necessary. And there we go. So now we'll just have some cleanup to do because I clean up on aisle 3. Because you guys know I always get mascara on my eyelids. So I'll clean that up, and if I have to put a little bit more glitter glue down, we'll do that too. My nose is like itchy. I think when someone's coming to see me, isn't that what that means? Okay, I'm gonna grab a brush over here. Hopefully you guys, I can grab it. Okay. So I found a bronzer brush, so I'm going to go into this bronzer shade down here. And I'm just going to tap that off. I'm gonna bronze up a little bit. I'm getting my hair all in it. It's looking a little bit orange on camera. Let's see if I can blend that out some. I don't want to look like an Oompa Loompa. Definitely not going Oompa Loompa status today. So there that is. Makes me look like I got a tan now. I've been hanging out in the sun. Actually, I have been outside, but I've been using good SPF because I'm using things that have retin A in it, and I know you should definitely use an SPF if you're using things that contain retin A or retin whatever, any kind of retin. Definitely use an SPF because you don't want to damage your skin. Now I'm going to go into this blush palette again, and I'm going to go over to this. We're going to do something bright and bold. We're going to go out of the box. So we're going to go down here to the shade True Coral. The one I just used was called Rich Bronze. So we're going to use True Coral and see what happens. See what happens. Whoops, I almost went into the wrong one. I love a big fluffy blush brush. Do you guys like a smaller one or a big fluffy one like this? I love a big fluffy one. I like the more blown out blush looks. And there it is. Now I'm going to go in and highlight. We're going to use the Casey Holmes. I couldn't think of her name. The Casey Holmes highlight. So I'm going to go in. Some of these shades are a little bit too dark for me, but I think in the summer they're going to work okay. This one here can work, and this one here can work. This one here is a little bit too dark. This one's almost too dark. So we're going to go in with this shade right here because I know it does work very well. And that shade is Blow a Fuse Gold. It's a very pretty. It's a very pretty highlight. Definitely has a lot of gold in it. But I mean, I picked the gold palette, so I think the other one, I'm not sure what the other one was called. I don't even know. Now we're going to clean up my eyes. I've reached off camera so many times today, goodness gracious. So I'm going to grab a little Q-tip container here so I can clean up my eyes. And see how much I destroy by cleaning up my eyes. Yeah, I took off a lot of my sparkles. I'm going to have to apply the sparkles again. Yeah, the sparkles are disappearing. I need to flip sides here so I can make sure I get that nice and clean. Alright, so let's just apply a little bit more sparkles. Where do they go? Uh-oh. I've got stuff everywhere. If you guys saw what's going on around you, you'd be like, girl, clean your room. It is a mess. Here it is. Okay, I found it. I'm just going to use the flat shader brush again so I can blow that sparkles out. I love those sparkles though. I think they look so beautiful. Especially, I think they're gonna look really good for like a date night or something like that. They'll look really good for that. Or like if you have a party to go to, they're gonna look really good for that. New Year's Eve. heck, I'll wear them in the daytime. I don't care. I have no problem. No shame in my makeup game. Okay, and that is it. That is the look for today. Actually, we need lips. I lied. So since we did kind of a purple eye, I'm going to use this Covergirl. This is the Divine Wine. Really love this shade. I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I do. It's just very spring appropriate. So that is the look for today. I'm going to zoom you guys in so you can see a close-up look of the look. So here's what the eyes turned out like. I think it looks good. Like I said, I didn't do an excellent job of covering my acne scarring, but I'm not super concerned because this is something I would wear during the summertime, so I don't want anything real heavy on my face. So this would be a good summer look. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know, did you do a makeup look this week using your products that you pulled for your Makeup Basket Monday also? That sounded like a mouthful there. Let me know what products you used this week. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later.